Next to the MARR Army Rock Show, I'm very excited to have Trevor McNevin from 1,000 Foot Krutch back on the show. It's his second time on the show. They've got a new live record out. Second time they've put one out. It's called Untraveled Roads. It's available now. Trevor, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Rocky. Always a pleasure, brother.
Man, I have so many good memories watching you perform live, and I want to start, though, by talking about the live record, because that's really what it's all about. So, hey, talk about the decision to do a second live record. Is this something that your fans kind of demanded, or something you guys wanted to try out again as a band?
Well, we had left for the last tour we did was Winter Jam. It was a 46-city U.S. tour, and we left for the first couple shows. We were out on the road and had a couple of just awesome first shows, and we're sitting there on the bus after, just so excited about just the people and the energy of these shows and the whole experience of it, that we were kind of sitting there like, man, it's been a while since we've released any sort of live experience, and we haven't released any of since we went independent for the last 3 records, we haven't released any of that music live. So we kind of wanted to commemorate that moment and just kind of capture this tour as well. And so from that moment forward, we actually rented a rig and recorded every show on the tour every night and switched up the sets every night to kind of get everything in there. And so it was a lot to compile afterwards, but we were really excited about how it came out, man. It felt like it authentically captured the personality of this band, and just kind of the live aspect to what we do is a big part of who we are as a band, And so it was important to us to be able to capture that honestly, and it's not. We didn't want it to be perfect. We just wanted it to be real. So that's what we felt like we got, man. And we were really excited to release it, and we did shoot video for every song as well, and that all 12 videos are going to be released directly to our YouTube, official TFK YouTube channel. We just wanted to give that away for free and just say thank you, man. Just celebrate everybody we just appreciate the people walking this journey with us, man.
It's interesting because that was one of the questions I asked. Were you going to do a DVD? Because I've been seeing these videos pop up, but you guys are giving away that for free, man. That's amazing that you're doing that.
Oh, thanks, brother. Well, we appreciate just everybody that's been walking this journey with us, man, for a long time, and for a short or a long time. So it was a fun way for us to be able to kind of do that and keep the live album as a separate piece. And it just kind of felt like it was its own thing, too. And Untraveled Roads, the title, obviously kind of came as a play on Untraveled Roads, the single, the song off of Inhale for us, but also with just, it's been 20 years this year, so it was kind of also just taking a moment and we're so thankful just for what God's been doing, and just to get to play music and communicate your music the way that it communicates to us as music fans. And so it's kind of taken a moment to look back on the journey, and it's been a lot of miles and a lot of roads, and globally. So this is kind of just, for us was a fun way to kind of look back and say thanks and just appreciate the moment, and, man, give him the glory.
Now, you alluded to this a little bit, but I'm trying to think, I was just watching a band last week record an album in the studio, and is it a lot harder doing it this way? You alluded to, the idea that you had to switch up the set and, try to figure out which was the best performance. How hard is it to do the live record like that?
On this particular one, it was a lot different. It was a lot harder than last time because we recorded every night on this tour. So there was the tour was 46 shows in the U.S., and we hadn't decided to do this till a few shows in. So it was probably 40 plus shows total worth of content. Whereas the last one we just shot live, and it was just live. It was a one-off, and these Winter Jam has a bunch of bands on the bill. It's kind of a variety show, and so everybody plays shorter sets. So this was the best way we could kind of keep switching the set and capture that amount of songs. We weren't able to just shoot one show like last time, so it was a lot to go through, man. But we tried to just capture the moments that felt the most like each show to us, as opposed to this kind of one-off stuff, and just the moments that felt the most natural to us as far as being out there that long and playing so many shows. And so yeah, it felt really good, man.
So as I walked through the album, I know your music well, and one of the live performances I was drawn to was the tune War of Change. And, I know it's probably been out there in interviews before, but you get so much love from your fans on that song. Tell us a little bit more about what the meaning behind that song.
War of Change has always been just like a call to action. I think in our culture, we're always dealing with just an immense amount of change, and especially in this generation, there's so much data coming at you at all times. I think I remember seeing a crazy stat that this is, the most information and kind of over. I think it was. What's the word I'm looking for? Not oversensitized. There's a word I'm looking for, and it's not coming to me for some reason. But that our culture and our generation kind of has the most data and information coming at it from every angle than any generation before us. And so I think we're dealing with change all the time. We're dealing with it, in our families and life, in the music industry, obviously. And it's one of those things where I wanted to kind of call to action and talking to myself as well, man, just on a faith level and on a life level, just, that this is the time to stand up for what we believe, and that one voice is enough and can create change. And, whatever that means to you, but it's, there is hope for our culture and our generation, we believe. And this song was saying, let's try to not just talk about it, let's try to do something about it. And that was kind of the heart of that song.
So one of the things that was kind of unique is you released like a little piece called Stories that's out there, a little video piece called Stories. Can you tell people about that?
Absolutely, man. You know what? This was one of the parts of this that I was most excited about, to be honest. We had this idea. We get these beautiful letters and sometimes photos or videos with stories attached to them, sometimes with just people sharing their hearts. Or at the shows, oftentimes afterwards, we hang out as long as we can after a show, and you hear these beautiful stories, man, about how the songs and the music or the records have spoken to people or gotten them through hard times or dark times in their life and certain experiences, and the same way that music has for us. And those are the powerful moments, man. They're just so much bigger than the band and bigger than music. And so we wanted to just kind of capture that and honor that, and again, kind of give them a voice to our audience. And we just invited people to send in videos, just guerrilla style on their iPhones from wherever they are in the world. And we ended up getting thousands of these awesome videos, man. And so we wanted to kind of put a collage together. We started releasing them one at a time, actually, right now. And we're going to actually release a piece where a lot of them are connected and kind of continue releasing them. But so it was a really kind of special piece to us, man, and just to be able to kind of give them, let their voice be heard. And also, it just blesses us too. It's such a cool, it always blows you away, man, how powerful music is and how it can communicate to us just at the right time,
Yeah, man, talking about timing, when I knew his interview, I was trying to think back. I've seen you play live a bunch of times, but bar none, because of the venue, my favorite time seeing you was on Shiprocked on the beach in the Bahamas. And I got to ask, was that like the most unusual venue you've played? Or reflect on the Shiprocked experience a little bit.
Yeah, Shiprocked was a blast. That was we played a couple radio cruises before, but they're a little more subdued and less like rock focused. You're always sometimes the odd man out on some of those cruises, and a little bit more AC. And so this was the first full blown rock and roll focused cruise we'd ever been on, man, and our first time on Shiprocked at the time. And it was fantastic, man. I mean, it was such a blast. So fun to meet face to face with so much of our rock community. And that particular show, getting onto when we were boarding the ship, our bass player had some custom issues and actually wasn't able to get on the plane.
Oh no!
It was like nothing shady or illegal or whatever. He had some sort of, I think he was at the time was moving to the U.S. and had a bit of a green card issue. So if he got on the boat and traveled with us, it would have been a big problem for immigration. So he ended up having to stay, and we had to play that show without a bass player, which was super weird. So yeah, that was a little weird. I think we played on the beach a couple times before that, but no, that was a blast, man. So many great people like yourself getting to meet everybody and hang, and what a great cruise, man. Definitely recommend it.
So can folks start looking, as they say, for a show in a city near them anytime soon?
Soon enough. At the moment, we're actually on our first ever intentional break in like 20 years, where we just took a little break off the road, man, with the families, and everybody's got kiddos now. Well, not everybody, but most of us. And it was just time. We just kind of sometimes you just know. And like I said, it's the first time we've ever intentionally said, let's take a little break off the road. So it's been refreshing and recharging for everybody, and we're kind of just focusing on that moment as we speak. And I'm always writing and working on new stuff for that, and we're really excited about what's in store, man. But currently just pumped about releasing Untraveled Roads, man, and sharing that experience with people across the globe that maybe haven't got to be, connect with us at a show, or someone who has and wants to, reconnect. So thanks for checking it out, and everybody out there for listening.
So, you mentioned performing all over the world, and sometimes we get in our own little towers here, and we assume maybe we're the biggest base, but is the United States the biggest fan base, or Canada for your band, or are you huge somewhere else?
I think in general, I know the United States is still completely, I don't know the exact percentage, but definitely the major music consumer or listener. The music industry certainly lives in the U.S. primarily, but Canada has an amazing scene, and we definitely been very blessed by our audience here, man, and the support we've got. And through the years, man, though, the last 20, we've been we've been most places out there globally, actually, and got to connect in a lot of Europe and Russia and Australia and New Zealand and being all over the place. So it has been very, very cool, man. There's certain pockets of the world that really embrace rock more than, not every place in Europe does, for instance. But, you get places like Germany and Russia that just love rock and hard rock, and it's just, some of the most powerful shows and experiences that you have, because we get inundated with so many shows here in North America. There's just a lot of options, and over there, not a lot of bands will travel, or can. So, anyways, the appreciation level of just going to a show, they just show up and they're ready to go, So it's a pretty powerful thing to kind of experience together.
Well, we've been talking with Trevor McNevin. He's the vocalist of 1,000 Foot Krutch. They got a new live record out right now called Untraveled Roads. And amazing they're doing this. They've got videos out there on YouTube that are just available for you to watch. So, hey, man, we appreciate you being on the show as always, Trevor. Good luck with the rest of the release of the record.
Thanks so much, Rocky. I really appreciate it, man. And thanks for what you do, buddy. Love it, man.